Happy Halloween, you spooky listeners. It is I, Count Dracula, or Count Chocula, however you want to pin it. I'm Mac, joined here as usual by the spooky Miss Flamingo, aka Kristen. Kristen, it's Halloween.
The freakish flamingo.
The freaking you should trademark that. That's actually good. Actually, he's
That's
good. But
good.
happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Matt,
It
and to
is.
all of our trick-or-treaters and spooky ghosts out there.
Yes, this is like, listen, when Halloween falls on a Friday, it's like the best feeling of all time because you got the Friday night to go out with the trick-or-treating and everything like that. Any parties you
Yes,
go to, you got to wake up in the morning. You don't have to worry about that because you don't have to go to work.
exactly. Are you doing anything special for Halloween this year, Miss
Not
Mac?
not on Halloween, but I am going to a function on Saturday.
Oh, so
The
am
day
I.
after. Nice, nice. Mine's just overnight, so I'm excited, and I got my good costume all ready to go. I gotta just get it re-cleaned and everything like that, but I'm just ready to go. But
May I ask, what are you going to be?
I
Some...
can't say you're gonna have to look on social media.
Okay,
It's been a
I'm just
close kept.
wearing.
It's been a secret. I have not told anyone besides a few people.
Okay, I'm just wearing the same outfit that I wore to Comic-Con. So if anybody was following me on social, I was Shinobu from Demon Slayer.
Ooh, I have never watched that anime. But
I
anyway,
love that.
it is it is Halloween time, so we decided to pick a new spooky movie, and this movie's been on the radar for a minute. Today we're going to be talking about Chris Stuckman's debut film, Shelby Oaks, that has been distributed by Neon and is produced by Mike Flanagan. We're also going to be going over some spooky news stories. We tried our best with the stuff for that, and then we'll be going up over some of the upcoming lineups we got for the rest of the year, going into November and December. But I guess with that, are you ready to get into the news?
Yes. Should we get right?
Into the news!
Yay!
This is CNN, a network of Turner Broadcasting System.
All right, so the first news story, this is my news story. It has nothing to do with spooky, but I thought it was pretty interesting to learn about. Kristen, are you a fan of Crash Bandicoot?
What have I got?
No, but my husband is. But I know it comes from Naughty Dog.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. All right, you know ball. I'll give you that.
Yes, because
So,
I played the games. I played Last of Us and Uncharted, so I know.
yeah,
I
okay.
know from my husband, so that's why.
Well, Netflix will be giving us an animated Crash Bandicoot series coming soon. It was just announced saying that they're going to be doing a series on Crash Bandicoot. No further information is being reported, but we do have an animated series, and this kind of comes in the wake. A lot of PlayStation series or PlayStation franchises are getting their own series. I know that God of War is getting its own show next year, I believe. Next year, the Twisted Metal series is really popular on Peacock. I absolutely love it. And I think
Mm-hmm.
there's talks that we're going to get the Ghost of Tsushima movie, written by Alex Garland, coming, I believe, in the near
Mm-hmm.
future. But I'm excited. I think a Crash Bandicoot show can work very well. I love Crash Bandicoot a lot. I love
Mm-hmm.
the remaster. I play the original. And I'm really excited to see what they do for this show because maybe it could be like a Cuphead show, but just like, its own niche with it. But I'm excited for a little Crash Bandicoot.
My husband will probably be excited for this, and he'll probably end up watching it, and I'll end up watching it with him. But I do want to update you on some gaming information, Matt, that I'm going to be playing because I'm going to want to see this once it comes out in theaters. But I'm going to be playing Silent Hill 2.
Oh,
Yes, yeah, the honor of the new movie coming out. So I want to play the game because I've done that with, The Last of Us and Uncharted. So
have fun.
yes,
It's
have you played
intense.
it?
It's a fucking intense. Have fun. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
It turns you into an adult real quick.
Wow. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Good
All
game though.
right. All right. Well, let's move on to a story that I have from Bloody Disgusting. I thought that would be a good website to grab our news stories from today since this is our Halloween episode. First up, we have Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol, T.I. West, excuse me,
Hi
directing
West.
Dickens, Ty West, thank you, directing Dickens's tale with Johnny Depp as Scrooge. All right, here we go, guys. While, okay, I'm reading this by John Squires. This is, like I said, coming from Bloody Disgusting. Robert Eggers plans his own dark take on A Christmas Carol starring Willem Dafoe. Deadline reports that Ty West is taking his own crack at the classic tale. Johnny Depp will reportedly play Ebenezer Scrooge. In Ebenezer Scrooge, A Christmas Carol with Andrea Riseborough also attached to star in the film. Paramount will release the film in theaters on November 13th, so coming out next year. Deadline details in this report reveal that this version of a thrilling ghost story set in Dickinson's London follows one of the man's supernatural journey to face his past, present, and future and fight for a second chance. Stephen Duritz, I guess I'm saying that name, and Jason Foreman are set to executive produce, and Nathaniel Harpern wrote the adaptation for Ty West to direct. So I'm sure we're all familiar with the various adaptations we've seen of Ebenezer Scrooge. Uh, what do you think about this collaboration, and do you have a favorite take on the Christmas Carol, Mac?
Muppets will always be the best. But
Yes.
this should be interesting. I mean, I heard there's rumors that Robert Eggers is doing a Christmas Carol with Willem Dafoe, so that might
Yeah, that's what
have
it
to be
was
the
explained.
that might overtake that. But I don't know. I mean, I like X, I like Pearl. Maxine was okay, and this is probably shaping up to Johnny Depp's first big role post the defamation trial. So people are
Yes.
probably gonna go see it due to him. So it could be interesting.
It could be a huge box office success. I personally love Scrooge from Bill Murray, starring
You
Bill
know,
Murray as Shitson.
not really a fan of that one, to be honest. I
I
I used to
like
like
that.
it, and I kind of yeah. I like more of the Muppets one. I like the Muppets one,
Yeah.
and then the 2009 Jim Carrey one. Because the Jim
See, I'm
Carrey
not
one
a fan
felt
of that one.
I like that one because that was more Victorian era horror of that, and I like that.
Maybe that's why I didn't like it then. I have to rewatch it. Like younger me didn't like it then. And
Too
ever since then,
scary.
I've always kept like, no, I still didn't like it, but maybe I need to rewatch it now. But it's interesting to see Johnny Depp return to the spotlight like this because he's never really done a Christmas movie before. And interesting to see Ty West because team up with him because he has worked with some interesting people, including Mia Goth, who's had some, has her ties to Shia LaBeouf. And yeah, we'll see how it turns out. I'm sure he's not looking into the guy's personal life, but is just looking to tell a good story because, a lot of people like Johnny Depp's acting. So, but we'll see how that turns out when it hits theaters next year. All right. You didn't have another piece of news story, right?
I do actually. This is another video
Oh,
game news
perfect.
story, and I am big gaming news coming out lately. So, a while back ago, I had reported on the fact that we are going to get a movie based on Sleeping Dogs, the game by Homefront Games that released back in 2012. You actually play as Wei Shen in Hong Kong as an undercover cop trying to take down the triads. So originally, the movie was in development with Donnie Yen set the star as Wei Shen and be a producer. Unfortunately, that got ixnayed, but it was later reported on earlier this year that Simu Liu, I hope I pronounced his name right, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings,
Yes,
that
I
he
heard
said
about this. Yes.
he set the star as Wei Shen, and that the first script has been completed as of this month in October, and there's plans to maybe shoot this by next year. So if you don't know anything about Sleeping Dogs, highly recommend play it. A very underrated open world action game. If you're familiar with the True Crime series or True Crime LA, True Crime New York, this is the spiritual successor to that because it's originally going to be True Crimes Hong Kong. But great game, remastered on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, wherever you play on PC. Great game, great soundtrack. The opening soundtrack is really good. I'm excited to see this take on it and just see if this does well because if it has a style to it, I can see something like this being the style of like John Wick or something.
Ooh, okay. That's interesting. I never played it. I didn't hear of anything about this movie or like this adaptation like
I've been
ever, but
reading about it since 2017 because originally that's when Donnie Yen was supposed to do it. So
okay.
this has been almost 7 years. They've been trying to make
Wow.
this movie, and the game came out in 2012.
Okay. Okay. I'll have to see if Dylan knows it and wonder if he played it. But I'm curious to see how it turns out. Simu, I really like him. I just haven't seen anything aside from Barbie that, I really liked him in, so I'm happy to see.
Shang-Chi?
Well, no, well, Shang-Chi and then it was Barbie.
Okay.
So Barbie was the last movie I really enjoyed, that I enjoyed that he was in. So I'm hoping that, whatever I see him in, and this is like a project I know he's been working on for a long time. I'm excited to see how it turns out. And I know there's like a lot of people who love the game. So, or it's like has its own little cult following of like major video game fans. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm curious. So, yeah. All right, should we move on to my last piece of news story?
I'm waiting for you to start.
Okie dokie. Bloody Disgusting. Again, coming from Bloody Disgusting. This is an article written by Alex DiVincenzo. This is a movie I'm going to want to see. Jennifer's Body, Karen Kusama, I hope I'm saying her name correctly, provides an update on fun and crazy sequel. Jennifer's Body is more celebrated than ever, 16 years removed from its botched release, leading to talks of a sequel from creative team behind the original. The director spoke with Deadline about the idea, which is currently in the works from writer Diablo Cody. I know she's working on it right now, and I'm very excited to hear what comes from it, Kusama said. Or excuse me, said Kusama. I know some of the bones of it, so I'm not going to give anything away, but it sounds fun and crazy like the first film, and I have no doubt that Diablo will do something absolutely incredible with it. Kusama also spoke on the 2009 film Unlikely Cult Status. I'm so grateful for that film managed to find its audience, perhaps on a different timeline than any of us might have expected or hoped for. But I'm also so thankful that the work continues to speak to people. I'm just so satisfied by that. Cody told Bloody Disgusting last year, speaking about Diablo Cody, that she wants to make a sequel. I'm not done yet with Jennifer's Body. I need to partner with people who believe it as much as I do, and that hasn't really happened yet. I need someone to believe in it and who has $1 billion. Amanda Seyfried also expressed interest in reprising role as the protagonist Needy alongside Megan Fox as Jennifer. So, what do you think about a sequel to Jennifer's Body? And is it needed, Mac?
I mean, well, it kind of ended on a cliffhanger, so you kind of more of a thing of like it's been re-examined over the years that Jennifer Body is actually a really good movie, but the marketing absolutely fucked that movie over. So, I mean, Megan Fox, she's more refined as an actor now or actress now, so maybe it'll be fun to see them do one more thing. But the story kind of
Mm-hmm.
did end with her getting killed and Amanda Seyfried taking that powers from her. So it's like, okay, what can we do now for this? Maybe tell her story like she still has it, and like when you go back to that first one, you're like, damn, there's a lot of people in here that actually went on to go do a few things. Like it was crazy to see like
Yes.
Chris Pratt in this movie. I was like, okay, that's pretty funny. But it's something where I'm like, I'm curious because I think Jennifer's Body is a good concept for a vampire. I mean, considering Sinners, what it did for the vampire genre, there could be a market for it because Hollywood might see like, okay, that made a lot of money. That might win an Oscar this year,
Mm-hmm.
next year. So why not do a sequel? My only
Yeah.
question is like, are there diehard fans of Jennifer Body that are gonna want to see this movie?
I think now today, yes, and I think it all is from the cult fan status that the movie has. So I think the diehard fans will show up for this movie. I don't know if this is going to be like on the lines of like being released by who let me I have to go back to see who released it. As I type in Jennifer Lopez, not Jennifer's Body, LOL. Excuse me.
Same thing.
All right. 20th Century Fox released Jennifer's Body. So that
Yeah,
would
they
mean,
they screwed that marketing up so badly with that because they remember the marketing of that was just like, look it's gonna be Amanda Seyfried and Megan Fox making out. That's two hot girls, yeah. But like that movie had like nothing to do. Well, it had tones of it, but that wasn't really the case with the point of the movie.
crazy thing is the original premiered at TIFF, which I did not know.
That's funny. That's actually funny.
Yeah, that's something I would have never expected that movie to premiere at, but I'll give it to credit to Diablo Cody because I do like the script for that movie, and I think Diablo Cody is a very, very good writer. and I've enjoyed a lot of her works, including Lisa Frankenstein. So I'm excited to see to go back to a horror movie route. But I know we were talking about stars and appearing in that movie, but that original had like J.K. Simmons, one
Hmm.
of my favorite people, Adam Brody from,
Yep.
yes, Kyle Gallner, who we also love from other horror movies, and Amy Sedaris. So there's a lot of people that appeared in the original. I doubt any of them will make a return, maybe like in a flashback or something, but I'm curious to see where this will go.
Well, a lot of them were either
Whether,
dead or they weren't major characters.
no, well, most of them died, like
That's what I'm saying.
Kyle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, a lot of them were dead or they weren't major characters. Like, I mean, it'd be funny you bring back Chris Pratt. Like, oh my God, I remember you were the in the bar that night or something like that. But I don't know.
I forgot what happened to J.K. Simmons character, but we deserve him in every movie. So even if the movie's not great, like Red One. So anyway, that's the last piece of news I have, but that's my spooky news.
Yeah. So let us get into the spooky episode by talking about Shelby Oaks.
I've been searching for Riley for the last 12 years.
We should let the police take care of it.
They already gave up on her. I know. My sister's not dead.
All right, so the topic today, Kristen, we got Stuckmanized this past weekend.
We did.
And that's actually that. I love that term. So we finally got to see Chris Stuckman's directorial debut horror film, Shelby Oaks. This has been in the works since like 2022. This was an independent crowdfunded film. And
I think
actually,
it says in July 2021. You said
oh
July
yep,
22. Yep.
and
Okay.
then by March 2022, it had become the most crowdfunded horror film on the platform, raising over $650,000. And after it had its initial premiere last year at what festival was it?
And Fantasia?
Let me just double check.
Fantasia? I
Yeah,
don't.
Fantastic Fest.
Yeah, Fantastic Fest.
Yes. Actually, no, it was Fantasia. I'm sorry. The 20th Fantasia Film Festival has premiere. Then Neon got the rights to it, and Mike Flanagan came on as a producer. They gave him a little bit more money, got some re-edits and underwent reshoots, and it came out this year, in 2025. And you know, it's a movie, and the plot of this movie, because it stars Camille Sullivan, Brandon Sexton III, Keith David, Sarah Dern, Robin Bartlett, and Michael Beach. It is a it's pretty much the plot is a continuation of an online series of fictional found footage videos about a paranormal investigation team named the Paranormal Paranoids. Follows a woman determined to find her sister who went missing while investigating the mysterious abandoned town of Shelby Oaks. Now, right off the bat, you may feel like, huh, this feels very similar to something. Like, found footage movie that talks about a legend of a town that the camera crew goes missing. What movie do you think that could be? But this movie has gotten some pretty interesting reviews, and I know Kristen's dying at the bit with this. Our theater experiences, we both saw this in the theater. We were both the only ones in the theater.
Yes, in each of our screenings, I texted Mac a video that morning, and I was like, there's no one in my theater. There's no one in my theater. Like everybody donated to the crowdfunding, including me, to show up to the theater, like hoping to see a packed house for this, hoping for a good crowd.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, I love a crowded movie theater every once in a while, but I do love having the theater to myself every once in a while to enjoy something. This was one of those times, and I wish it was one of those times where people actually showed up to the movie theater, and I was like, okay, where is everybody? So, but I mean, I will give the movie some credit. It did do at least a good job of providing some kind of creepy experience because I did feel like kind of spooked by myself sitting in the theater by myself watching a spooky movie, and that oftentimes doesn't happen when I see a spooky movie, but it felt that. I felt that. But I have other stuff to say about this film. So,
I mean, I'll just start off from here. There's been some great discourse online with the many reviewer spaces on YouTube. People
hmm
that, are friends with Chris Stuckman and everything like that. And there's a thing of like, well, he's a YouTuber. We should give him the credit and everything like that. But, someone like Jeremy Johns, he gave a fair criticism of the film. He talked about things he liked, things he didn't like, and he gave it, it was a good time if you're drunk.
yeah.
And John Flickinger, or I believe that's his name,
Yes, John
he,
Flickinger.
he gave it a C. And he used to work, he used to do videos with Chris.
Yes, they were best buddies. He even starred in a short film for his.
Yep.
I
So,
guess their friendship might have fizzled out, but they knew each other for a very, very long time. And, you know, I was just surprised to see like these critics, like, who were friends with Chris, give him this grade, but hey, that's fair criticism, that's art, you know? But it's just interesting to see how the YouTuber film critic landscape has changed because Chris Stuckman was also good friends with everybody on the Schmoes team,
yep.
you know? So I don't know if Christian Harloff made a review yet. I didn't look into it, but I did see Jeremy's, I did see John Flickinger's, and I recently saw Voice Critical, his
Yeah.
review.
hmm
And I thought he gave very good points on how Shelby Oaks turned out, which I agree with him too, and I agree with John Flickinger.
It is very, how can we say this? It's a film where you could tell this is a first-time director,
Mm-hmm.
first-time writer. This is someone, Jeremy Johns described it as like someone's love letter to film. And, it's clear to point that Chris Stuckman has his inspirations, and he definitely wanted it to show with this film. And, I will say, like, there are some stuff I like about it. Like, I think that Sarah Dern has a great performance
Mm-hmm.
in this role. She really killed it. But like the story, I was not really vibing with it. Like there's the nucleus of this film. There's something there. Like I feel like he has a career directing, but there's just going to be a lot of work that's going to be done to be more refined.
It's a good entry film. Is it like not a perfect entry to show your creative works? Yeah, but I think he did fine, not great with everything that he had.
Mhm.
And, he made the best that he could using the money that he had,
Using the money
and
that he had, you mean the crowdsourced
yes, the
money, or
crowdsourcing.
or the money that he got given more from Neon
Yes,
after they got it.
it's both. It's both. We'll just say that. And, I'll say this. I was so excited because as somebody who used to really admire Chris and who really got into filmmaking, I actually have his book that he wrote.
I remember that you told me that.
Yes, I loved Chris Stuckman, and I used to watch Chris Stuckman back in the day, ever since he reviewed Monte Carlo, the Selena Gomez movie. That's how long I was been watching Chris Stuckman. And I loved the guy, and I always had to sit down whenever he posted. I always had to sit down and watch it and say like, okay, if this guy reviewed it, I need to go watch it. And I always took what he said to heart because he showed Chris Stuckman showed that he really cared about film, and when he makes a film, he can show his clear inspiration. But when it came down to, if he loved the film, I always got excited because I know I would want to go out and see it. So me giving some money to support Chris was really exciting for me. But I guess with the end result, I was like, on my results. I was like, all right, I contributed to art. That's the best thing I could
Well,
say.
here's my thing with it. I found Chris Stuckman during COVID. I liked a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
his negative reviews. I liked his hilariosity reviews.
Yeah, his
But then
hilarious reviews are
as he started
stellar.
developing this movie, he leaned away towards those bad movie reviews because he's like, I get what it means to be this and that. Which, I can understand that. But now
Yeah.
all his videos are just positive praise and everything like that. Well, that's fine. And you can't do bad movie reviews anymore because you probably have connections you want to don't want to mess up if someone's feelings gets hurt in Hollywood. But it's clear that he's passionate about film. That's the one thing I like about him. He's very passionate. So he's like, I'm
Mhm.
making a movie and everything like that. I was like, okay, a horror movie. And when you kind of start hearing more about it, I was like, okay, this kind of seems very unique and everything. And then from the early words we heard about it from Fantasia Fest last year, it did seem it the one consensus was like this. You could tell it's a very first time director film and everything
Mhm.
like that. And I think that it's more of a thing where like, okay, he had that budget initially, so he's like, I really want to do because when we make something, we always like we want to do this and that, this and that, this and that, but then sometimes we have to cut stuff out because we can't do that. So that's probably what he was working with the first time around, and the fact that that film premiered at Fantasia Fest is impressive, and that it was impressive enough to get picked up by Neon, bring on Mike Flanagan, give a few more $1 million to get your full vision in there. I think that makes it like that's clearly them seeing something in him. So this isn't
Mhm.
like an end of it, but the movie itself, yeah, it's not the strongest horror movie. I just kind of think it's generic.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people have been saying, and it brings back to some of the issues where maybe Chris did talk about it in his reviews for reviewing some horror movies, where it does feel generic. The storyline becomes so basic towards the final act, where it doesn't feel totally surprising and it plays off a lot of those generic elements that you see in horror. But I will give the movie credit. I think it does a good job in the first act, like the first 30 minutes of like establishing what YouTube was and back in 2008. And when they show the opening credits and they show what's her face. It's also in the trailer. The character of Mia like uh opening the door and the guy gets shot in the
Uh-huh.
head. Like I liked that. Like all there was a lot of stuff that was leading up to it that seemed very promising. I think this movie falls short and follows these generic elements that we see in horror appears when Mia goes to Shelby Oaks. That's where I have issues with the movie. What what did you think of the acts? Like, did you like second act, third act, all that climax
I like
stuff?
the first act and half of the second act. Everything else was boring.
I just thought
I
it was
thought the ending was
so,
not good.
yeah, I just thought it was so like, okay, this is very basic, Chris, because then he brings in the older lady, the creepy older lady, you know, and the way that final act seemed too convenient. I don't know if that's the right word.
It's first
It's
draft
like,
script material ending.
yeah, it's like she turns and she sees the house with the old lady. I'm talking about the movie. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Where, Mia finds the house, and of course, there's an old lady in it, this creepy old lady. And, she goes in. By the way, the character of Mia does make some really dumb, dumb, dumb decisions. And I'm like, why are we doing this? And one of them includes where I'm not going to spoil what happens, but she takes the knife and she takes it with her and she leaves it in one of the scenes. Like she leaves it on the ground. I'm like, girl, why are you leaving the knife? You should be holding that knife on you at all times because you do not know the situation you're about to get yourself into. And the funny stuff, I was actually like laughing when we get to the crazy events in that final act. And I was just like, what are we doing here? I'm like saying to myself, how did we get here with all this silly little shenanigans of this kooky old lady and the Satan baby? Oh yeah. The the character of Mia was also having some issues because the character of Mia wanted to have a baby with her husband. Obviously, they reveal that they couldn't have a baby, and then a baby does appear. But there's so much
By the
I want
way,
to say.
by the way, the way Christian's describing it, it's not an exaggeration. It's that disjointed like that.
There's like just some stuff here. I'm just like I'm saying to myself, how?
Listen. It's simple. The script is not this film's strength. The film
No,
strength
it's
comes.
not.
The film strength comes from the performance of. Let me just make sure I get her name right. The film strength comes from Camille
Sullivan.
Sullivan. Her she pulls in a great performance, and the
Yeah.
cinematography also by Andrew Scott Beard. Like great. The cinematography is film is actually this is actually a really well shot movie. Like
Yeah, I really like it.
if you told me this was like a guy from YouTube would direct this movie, I'm like bullshit. It's kind of like a Raka Khan,
Hmm.
but there when they did talk to me and bring her back, like holy shit, like you didn't even think these guys did YouTube, and like the cinematography. In this is obviously, and then like I said, the first two acts do a good job of building up that tension, that
Hmm.
horror. But the problem is that ending. It's the you didn't know how to really properly conclude it because you're using tropes of other movies that you like to use that. And
Yeah,
that's
and it's
okay. That's okay to use inspiration, but you still gotta make sure it makes sense and cohesive to your story.
yeah, and it's clear it draws inspiration from like one of Tar's like talked about movies of like of the 90s, late 90s.
Uh
Blair Witch.
yep.
It's so obvious. And I'm not really a Blair Witch fan,
I love
so
Blair Witch.
and then also I think it takes inspiration from Hereditary a little bit. And Chris Stuckman loved Hereditary.
I remember that.
And as I sit here and like from watching so many of her reviews, it came so clear to me which films that he liked and just put those movies into this movie to say, I have inspiration from this. So yeah, you better like it. And, my thing is, if you're going to take inspiration, make sure you still make it your own. And I think he did make it his own, but I think the way the whole film is executed, I wish it was so much stronger. Because the only character that I really cared about in the end result, and I think that was the whole point of the film, was Mia.
Yep.
I couldn't care about her, I couldn't care about, her sister who she was searching for, Riley, but I liked seeing everybody else appear, including Keith David. It's just crazy to see Keith David appear in this film.
Well, I remember
But
when he was announced, I was like, "Oh, is he gonna be a big part?" And I was like, "Okay, I guess he's there." And Michael
yeah,
Beach, I thought Michael Beach was gonna be a bigger role.
yeah, I thought he was going to have a bigger role, but clearly he didn't. I guess they used the limited budget that they had to give to said both Keith David, yeah, and Michael Beach. So I really wanted to. I was really hoping this was going to be like top horror movie film of the year for me, but unfortunately, it's not. I don't even consider it like an honorable mention, but I'm happy to see someone that I admire for a very long time make a film.
And I'll say that,
And
like he did what a lot of people do. Like the fact that you're able to do like that's something you will all what was it called? That's one thing you can hold your eye up. Like you became one of the most crowd-funded movies
hmm
ever.
hmm
You got to work with people that you wanted to work with. You got to write your own story. You produced it, you wrote it, you directed it. It came out. You got more money from a bigger studio. You got a acclaimed director to help you with that. Like that, honestly, a lot of people can't say that. But there is stuff to improve upon. And I hope he takes all that. He sees it as constructive criticism and he's able to improve. Because I do see Chris Stuckman he can most likely make a career out of this. And like I said, like you mentioned before, this is a good entry level film. Like, there's a lot of the like just get everything you want to do and just break that down and take those notes with you to your next film
hmm
to tell your own story.
And I think he will. And I think this is, I know I say Rotten Tomato score always doesn't matter, but
Yeah, that Rotten Tomato score is bullshit.
it's crazy to me to see how both the audience and critic score are now at the same level because this movie's now sitting at a 58%. And now when I last texted you and I sent you the screenshot of like it being 60%, it's now dropped to 57%. So,
The saddest thing is too, like this came out like Halloween, like this week, like the week before Halloween. So
yeah.
they're probably banking on like, oh, this is gonna be like a horror movie to go see because this is originally gonna be released earlier this month.
Yeah, because then it got moved because of other horror movies that I'm not gonna that are kind of better.
Would you say
But
him is better than Shelby Oaks?
oh, I think they're both about the same because I gave him a C, and just for a heads up for anybody, I'm giving Shelby Oaks a C. So they're
I'd
about
give
the same.
I'd give him above more.
Maybe I'll give it be nicer and give a C plus. I'm still thinking about it, and it's as of this recording, y'all. It is Tuesday. I saw this movie on Sunday, and I'm still thinking about it like crazy because like I like this, but I don't like this. And everything in my head is just like, oh, I wanted to give him an A and I wish I could, but I can't. It's like, but maybe I will give it a C plus because
Well,
I
him or
really like.
Shelby Oaks?
No, Shelby Oaks.
Okay, I'm gonna give Shelby Oaks just a straight C. Like I said, I think that it's middle because there's elements of it that work, like cinematography and the acting, but from the writing and then the structure and then the stuff like that, I think that's what makes it kind of like generic.
Yeah. Maybe I will give it a C. I'm gonna give it a C for now. Maybe once I post a review in a day or two for it, my thoughts might change on the grade. But right now, I'm gonna give it a C.
But what do you want to see next from Chris Stuckman? Like, what do you think he's gonna do next?
Oh, let us know if you all seen his other short films because those aren't that good either. I shout out to Dom from Talking TV who suggested I said watch those because they're not that good. They're not that good. Oh, Chris, I'm rooting for this man in the future. I really am.
What do you
So,
think he's gonna do next? Like I said,
oh, I would like to see. I feel like horror is his bread and butter because he's talked about how much he loved horror and he loves Halloween, you know, and it makes sense why we're making this our Halloween episode. So I would like to see him not do that, but I have a feeling he might go it down a different route and talk about his time being Jehovah's Witness, since he that played a huge part in his life. I think he could make a drama, talking it like making a movie about his own personal experience, discussing that.
uh-huh.
I think that would be interesting.
Well, I know there was elements of that in this movie too.
Yeah, there was, but I think to get a full scope, maybe discussing or like making a movie about his true experience, like growing up and, dealing with his siblings and his family life, all that being placed in a film, you know?
Hmm.
What about you?
It's probably gonna be a horror, so I wouldn't mind. Don't do found footage again. Just don't.
Don't do found
Just do
footage,
something.
maybe
Do a traditional horror movie.
a traditional horror movie that's where a serial killer is involved and then it's like
Yes, do
Scream on
something
the
like that.
vibes.
Do that. That's something to work on.
Do
And
you know what'd
then
be crazy?
what?
If he did direct a Scream movie, like let's say the success of Scream 7 turns out to be crazy good, and then the Paramount is like, "Hey, let's make another Scream 8. What do you think about Chris Stuckman?" I mean, that would be crazy. Or like Chris Stuckman to move into like a Blumhouse movie. Like, I don't know, but I think that the future is pretty big for him, even if audiences and critics weren't crazy about it.
Well, we'll see. Neon's probably gonna keep him up to see. They're like probably give him some money for something else. So interesting to see
Well,
what comes from Chris Stuckman. He's posted a few new reviews. I have not checked the comments. That'll be interesting to go back and see that.
well, he's gonna have to make a follow-up video about the resp its theatrical run about Shelby Oaks and opening weekend. I didn't see anything in him like post about it, but I did see that it did open at seventh place at the box office, so at least it turned out well. I think the movie will probably earn some of its
It
money
was a
back, but
short.
not 100%.
Like I say it is a short film because its budget is like over 2.8 million, and according to box office projections, it's already made 2.4. So maybe because there's really nothing coming out until Running Man really between now and then,
Well,
unless I'm wrong.
well, Predator Badlands.
Like I mentioned, there's really nothing coming out between now and Running Man. So it'll probably
Skipping
make
over
its
that.
money. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Halloween, so people are gonna probably see this because like, oh, this is gonna be something to see a horror movie. But I think after this weekend and kind of going into Predator Badlands, then that's what'll probably get snuffed out. And then when Running Man comes out, it'll be even more stuff out. I guarantee by mid-November it'll be out of theaters.
Oh yeah,
But it will
it will.
probably look at the bright side. This may have the potential to be going on streaming.
I think it will. It's gonna end up on Hulu because of the rights Neon has with Hulu.
I think it will
So
do better on Hulu.
so yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. We should do an episode talking about YouTuber movies. We already covered like After Prom, Shelby Oaks, and like we can talk about Airplane Mode.
Oh no, not the Logan Paul movie.
We can talk about Smosh the movie.
Oh my God, I was just gonna say that. Oh my God.
I remember
Oh.
I was so hyped for that. I didn't even watch Smosh. I just thought it looked stupid.
I think it was
But
stupid that a movie was made, but
you don't like Smosh?
it was. I don't care for them, but I will say this: it was directed by Alex Winters, so I like him. But is
Also,
it a
he
good
directed
cop?
the Ben 10 movies.
Well, he was in them.
Was he in the Ben 10 movies?
Ben 10 or
Ben 10.
oh, I thought you said like Bill and Ted. That's
No,
what I was
Ben
thinking of.
10.
Oh, I don't know if he did.
He
I don't
he
know about that.
directed the first one in 2006, and he directed the live action one that came out in 2010. Yeah, he
I
directed both of those, which is I thought it
I
was
could
crazy.
see. Well, I could see him because I think he has kids, so I think would make sense.
Hell yeah. Make another Ben 10 movie. But anyway, yeah, this has been this episode, and it's been a spooky, fun episode of spooky proportions, and we are taking a week off. We just want to rest and recuperate with everything, just kind of get our brain juices back. But when we come back, we will be doing our review of Edgar Wright's The Running Man. That's one of my most anticipated films of the year. It's coming out the week of my birthday.
Same.
I'm excited.
Ah, happy
That,
birthday!
then to get ready for the holiday mood, we are going to be covering the Jonas Brothers Christmas special as requested by Kristen. So I'm going to take a step back into my Jonas Brothers craze in the year 3000.
Hell yeah.
They used to
And
play
then
that
we'll
music video on Disney Channel all
so
the time.
much. And
But
that and SOS. I used to replay.
oh, I
No,
like
oh,
SOS.
oh my God. Do you know what one I used to watch over and over on my like one music choice thing, like on FiOS? I used to replay Burden Up like crazy because I thought that music video was so iconic. Seeing Nick Jonas and Selena Gomez, I thought that was
It's not Nick Jonas.
cinema.
It's not Nick Jonas, but I saw on TikTok this one time. It's like you're a true 2000s kid if you remember the same ad, or the 2010s kid when you see this ad. And it was the one on Nickelodeon when they played the animated Mickey Mouse where there was Far East movies like "Here we come,
Oh
come
my
with
God.
me,
Yes.
the world." That was a good song. Like they used
That's
to
a good
play those.
song.
And then I remember I don't know. Did you have Boomerang or the Boomerang channel growing up?
I think so, but I didn't really watch it,
Well,
so
do you remember Magilla Gorilla? They got a gorilla for sale,
yes.
Magilla Gorilla for sale, or
Mm-hmm.
me and my friends get no respect. Scoop,
Mm-hmm.
jabber jaw. But yeah, no, when we talk, oh yeah, Jonas Brothers things, that'll be going up, and it'll be Christmas time, and we got a lot of good holiday stuff coming up. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel MK Productions Podcast. We are up to 25 subscribers, so we're continuing to grow and improve. Our last episode that we did with Darian,
Yes.
with Sean Aries, and it's sitting over at 75 views on YouTube. That is absolutely wild, guys. Thank you so much for the love and support. Keep
We are
it going.
noticing a growth, so thank you all.
And make
So
sure you donate to our Patreon. It is $1 a month. Every cent helps us out and continuing to grow this little family that we got. Also, make sure if you have any suggestions or topics, leave them down in the comments below. If you want us to cover Disney Channel original movies, we'll cover it. If you want us to cover your favorite movies about planes, we'll cover the planes movie.
how about planes?
But we
Like
can
the
talk.
Pixar planes?
I was gonna say, yeah, we can talk about planes. We can talk about planes, fire, and rescue. But until next time, I've been Mac. This has been Kristen. Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, you Houston